You doing?
Good. How you doing?
All right, questions? What was it like going against another team finally after a couple weeks of just facing your teammates?
I'm sorry, what's that, Larry?
Like going against another NFL team after probably pretty sick of going against your teammates for so long.
Yeah, I mean, it's always fun to get some new, fresh bodies in here to go against. But the thing is kind of getting used to, what the team does and the players they have. We off to a good start, but some things we could have done better today. And I know everybody in our locker room is excited just to kind of, fix the things we didn't do well today and kind of just grow from there.
Coming back here, what's it familiar with, if you're not familiar with everybody here, but what's it been like just coming back here, where it started?
It's really cool, So started here, and there's some faces here that still in the building. The last time I was here, and I'm just excited to be a part of this team, a team that's very close to getting over that edge, a team with a lot of talented players. I'm just excited just to get through camp and get better and grow as a player, as a person, and let it roll when the season starts.
So you know Eddie pretty well, right? Better than most people?
Jackson or Goldman?
Goldman.
Okay.
Because Matt says he struggles to get a hold of him. Have you connected with Eddie here in the last, say, week?
I talked to Eddie. The last time I talked to Eddie was at Fan Fest when we was on the bus. But Eddie's been kind of the same guy he's always been in college. He's a quiet guy. He's kind of a guy you kind of gotta go up to him and get him to talk. But when you do, he'll open up. But no, I haven't talked to Eddie since last week. But I know he's doing fine. I know he's doing everything he can to get back here.
When you got sidelined, was that kind of a bummer? Because you got a new coaching staff, you got to impress, that kind of thing?
Of course, it's a bummer. But, protocol is protocol, and it is what it is. And did the time, and I'm just glad to be back here, play football.
How did you find out?
What's that?
How did you find out that you were tested?
Just someone came on the bus before we started our Fan Fest, and then just gave us the news from there.
Just pulled the four of you guys out?
Yeah.
What is that feeling like?
You know the protocol, right? So, obviously once they came to the bus, you kind of knew what it was, but you're kind of hoping it's not what it is. But, once we got it, we just kind of have to just wait it out. And like I said, the guys who are out, we're just glad to be back in the building with everyone. 5 days is a lot to miss, during training camp. So we was all anxious to get back out here and just be around the guys and just learn more.
And you didn't test positive, right? You were just a close contact?
Yeah.
What's your, Sean Desai was here before when you were here. What's your relationship like with him? What's your level of comfort with some of the things that he likes to do?
Sean's been there, I think he's under two coaching staff when I was here, and he's always been a smart guy, very knowledgeable of the game. And the way he can kind of just break down personnel from what teams do and just the experience he got from other coordinators here, you see it all coming together out here. And it's fun, it's exciting, especially to see him in this position. He's been here for a while, and he got a shot to kind of unleash everything he knows, and we're all excited about it. He's a very passionate guy. He gets us all going, and we love him being out there.
What's the biggest difference in this defense now than when you left?
I'll say, we got a lot of playmakers on defense, man. We had some good players when I was here before, but like I said earlier, man, I feel like we can really lock in and grow together as a team. I feel like we can go really as far as we want to. It's kind of a special thing.
Christian, when you guys had to go in today during the rain delay, what did you guys do?
Kind of just wait it out, stretch, trying to just keep our minds on practice.
Were you talking with the Dolphins or just you guys?
Oh no, we kind of were all in the building together. Guys, a lot of guys know each other, so you kind of go up, say hey, talk a little bit, stretch out. Guys kind of doing different things, but most importantly, trying to stay focused on practice because you never know how long the wait's going to be. You don't know if we're going to go back out there, so you just gotta just stay sharp.
You were not teammates with Roquan Smith the first time here. What are your impressions since you got into the building with him and gotten to know him?
Roquan, he's a real smart player, mixed with, the God-given ability that he has. And what I noticed about him, he asks questions. He's eager to learn. He's always trying to get better as a player. And, he talks to everybody on the team, which is, what you want to see out of a leader on the team. So, yeah, he's exciting, and he's an even better locker room guy.
Danny's more the vocal leader, if you will. Is Roquan, what's his leadership style like?
Roquan's kind of like an easygoing guy, man. He just come up and walk up to you and just talk to you about anything. Like, where are you from? Like, what do you like? What do you see here on this play? Like, he's just always asking questions. So I think he does a good job of kind of just communicating with people.
Did you have any relationship with Bobby Bowden?
I did, yes, sir.
What were your thoughts this week?
It's kind of saw it coming after they kind of announced that he was sick. And, it's very sad. Like, my dad played for him, my brother played for him, and I had the chance to be recruited by him before Jimbo Fisher took over. And I've always grew up a Florida State fan. I was always a fan of his coaching, a fan of how he was close to his players. He loved everyone, and it's very sad what happened this week. But, we all have our times, right? But, prayers go out to the Bowden family, and yeah, man, it's still hard to believe, to be honest with you. You go to school there, I pass a statue every day, and he comes around the facility when he can, when I was in school there. So, yeah, it's a tough pill to swallow, but we're all trying to get through it.
You've been a starter in the league now, but what's it like, what's this role like, being in a better defense, frankly, but not in a starting situation?
I mean, to me, I approach everything the same, man. Like, every year you kind of just want to get better. You want to grow as a player, even if you're a starter, you're not a starter, if you're on special teams. It's all about what you can do to get better to help the team. And I think that's kind of where my mindset is right now. Even like today, I'm kind of upset about some plays that I could have done better on. That's just that competitive nature you get inside of you. But, every year you just want to get better. And there's a lot of stuff you can't really control, in the building, but you can control how you play out in the field. You can control when you get your opportunity to play. And that's kind of what I try to focus on.
Anything else?
Thanks.
Going.
Andy, obviously at this point, you don't need a certain number of snaps or something in a preseason game, but are there some specific concepts or anything that you just want to get the feel for before you check out?
Yeah, I mean, I think just kind of get back into the flow of it. Obviously, I feel really comfortable with everything that we've got in. But I think, you get out there, you just try to get in a little bit of a rhythm, and then we'll see how long I'm actually out there.
After going against the Bears defense for so many days in a row, how much of a litmus test is it, even in practice, and then obviously playing the Dolphins in the preseason?
I think it's fun to get these opportunities to go against a different team, and it comes at a good time. You feel like you've been going against the same guys over and over and over again, going against our defense, and now you get a completely different style, going against different looks, and so I mean, it comes at a good time.
Both Matt and Alan talked last week about the level of advanced conversations you're able to have with Alan because of your collective experience. I'm curious from your vantage point, what's that been like to connect with Alan, to be able to talk through routes and little nuances within them?
Yeah, it's been great. For me, I've obviously watched Alan throughout his career, and to see what he's been able to do, and now actually getting to firsthand see how he works, how he operates, to talk through how he likes to run routes, when he's expecting the ball to come out on certain timings on these routes. So, I mean, it's been great, just the communication that we've been able to have. I mean, that's what we've got to have this time of year. And I think, it's so nice for both of us. We've played a lot of football, so we can talk through different looks, and I think we both understand what we're expecting to see.
Does it feel invigorating you to have a guy that you guys can kind of bend back and forth with each other and be flexible to make it work?
Yeah, it's been great, and I think that's one thing. Alan's such a good guy, and he studies the game, and he knows so much football, and he cares. He wants to be really good, and that's all you can ask for. A guy with his talent. I mean, you take that talent and you add that onto it. I mean, you can see what he's been able to do since he's been in the league.
And that's it. The Dolphins challenge you today, I guess.
Some of the things that were probably different than what you've seen in practice the last couple of weeks, and just how do you think you handled it?
They do a good job, and there's a lot of just in your face man coverage, and expect you to go out and win. And I think it's great for our guys to get that. Like I said, getting a chance to go against different people, different team, different guys in front of you, and you expect to go get your job done. And so, I thought we handled it well. There's times that there was things that we could do better, but this is practice right now, and we'll look at the tape and we'll improve from it.
And Matt said that yesterday you had your only mental error of camp so far. Were you aware of that at the time? And then how would you describe what the process has been like to get to this point where you know this system as well as you do?
Yeah, I'm frustrated. I forgot to send a motion. That was my mental error. And when they told me that was my first mental error, I said, well, I expect to not have any of them. So it's one too many. But, yeah, I mean, I think that just being comfortable with the offense and the amount of time that I've spent making sure I know the ins and outs of what we're trying to do. And so, yeah, it was my mental error. And like I said, one too many.
After Allen and Darnell, have any of the wide receivers sort of caught your eye through the 12 practices now or so?
For sure. I think we've got a really good group. Adding Marquise Goodwin and Demir Bird to this group, there's two guys that can have a ton of speed. And we got Mooney that can go. We got Demir, we've got Marquise. These guys that add a different level of speed, I think are going to be big for us. So yeah, I mean, I feel like we've got a really solid group of receivers.
Last time we talked to you, I think you were talking about your rookie year, about how you played a lot, about how reps was the way you do it. Do you appreciate that there are different ways different coaches try to get a rookie quarterback ready to go, and that what worked for you may not work for the next guy, may not work for the next guy?
Yeah, I mean, there's all different ways of doing it. For me, I was fortunate that I was able to play as a rookie. There's different ways that, Aaron didn't get to play his rookie year. Mahomes, he didn't play his rookie year. So, I mean, there's different ways of doing it, but then there's other guys that just step in right away. So, I mean, there's all different ways to handle the rookie year for the quarterback.
Andy, when you were a young player transitioning to the NFL, what were the things you had to learn about calling a play in a huddle, whether it's projecting confidence, visualizing the play? What goes into that in this level?
Yeah, I was fortunate because I was in a huddle at TCU, and so I called plays. Now the words were all different, but I called plays the way that you would call it in the NFL. So TCU really prepared me for that. So I was used to being in there with everybody, talking to them, making sure everybody knew exactly what they needed to know, and when you call the play. So I was fortunate that I had that.
Andy, Coach was telling us about those foam things around some of the linemen's helmets.
Cool, don't they?
Yeah, he said it's just something they're testing out. My question is what you think of them, because sometimes they can protect a quarterback's finger on a throw, and what is their specific name? What are they called?
I couldn't tell you what they're called. So, I think it's just another form of protection. And, if somebody does get close, hopefully, it never happens. But if you were to come down on a helmet, it should be softer, I would think.
What was it like having Alex Smith out there today?
It's been great. I've been around him some throughout the years. I was at a Pro Bowl with him, and so it's fun to just have him around, and just to kind of talk through things, kind of what he sees on some of our plays that we're running, and also just talk about life and just how things are going. So it's been really cool to have Alex here.
Andy, what stood out to you about Darnell Mooney so far on and off the field?
Yeah, I was talking about Allen just wanting to be really good. Darnell has that exact same mentality. He wants to make sure that he's doing everything the right way and everything that he can to be the best player. And a guy that we've been able to, use in so many different ways. He's a guy with speed. He can, he's quick. He's got it all. And the best part about him is he wants to be great. And so I was talking about everything that I've been doing with Allen and just the communication. It's the exact same with Darnell, just making sure we're on the same page with everything that we're doing.
What do you want to see from yourself in 8 to 10 plays or whatever it is on Saturday? Is there anything you want to check off that list?
You just want to be efficient. While you're out there, you want to make sure that guys are getting in and out of the huddle. You're able to get up to the line. You're able to just execute the offense how it's supposed to be run. And so, I think that's the biggest thing is you just want to be efficient out there.
Andy, you've had Sam snapping you the ball for every single practice, but every other position has been sort of a revolving door of guys. What's that been like, just trying to operate behind a line that's had no continuity at all for 2 weeks?
Yeah, obviously injuries are tough, and we've had some guys go down, but I think in the long run it's going to make us better, where guys are getting opportunities in other spots, and we're seeing what we have in everybody. And so, it'd be nice to say, all right, we've got our 5 guys out there, and that's our guys that we're going to be rolling with, and they're in their spots, and they know exactly, we know exactly who that's going to be. But like right now, just with everything that's gone on, guys are having to move around, and so, I think we're finding out a lot about what we have up front.
Andy, how do you go about working with a center for the first time like Sam?
It's been really nice working with Sam because there's the communication of one taking a snap. That's the thing that you don't want to have to think about. Just making sure that where you gotta have it so you can get the snap easily, and then. Just the communication that we've got, working together, making sure we're on the same page with all the calls and everything, and Sam's been great.
How much do you plan on being involved with Justin when he's in on Saturday? When he comes to the sideline, things like that, do you plan on kind of going through things with him like the way the coaches are?
Yeah, I'm sure the coaches will do stuff, and I'm sure I'll be saying stuff too.
Coming from, spending most of your career in the AFC, what do you know about the NFC North and about the 3 opponents you're going to play? And when do you start studying up on that a little bit? Is it in the off season? Is it as games get closer? Just to kind of know what the strengths and weaknesses of those defenses are.
Yeah, well, I've watched a lot of football, just throughout my career, and just I know the opponents. In Minnesota, Zimmer, he was in Cincinnati for a while. We got 2 new coordinators in Detroit, and in Green Bay, so we'll see kind of their style. But just knowing personnel, now that obviously I haven't played against these guys very much, but obviously the guys here know personnels and know who's going to be out there. So I mean, I'll watch them as we get closer to playing them, but I mean I have watched them just from afar.
What's it do for you having someone like Cole, just his size, his athleticism, just you drop back to pass and you're able to kind of find 85? What's that kind of been doing for you?
Cole's done an unbelievable job, and I obviously didn't get to see what he was as a rookie, but everybody said that he's made a ton of strides this year, and a guy that just a big target, and a guy that you feel like can match up versus safeties versus linebackers versus whoever's out there. And so, I mean, it's been fun to see just his progression. And when talking through how we want to run routes, and then to see him do it and we execute, it's been great.
Andy, with the personnel you have, with the tight ends, the backs, the receivers, how much does it allow you guys to sort of play chess and create matchups going forward through this?
Yeah, I think that's one thing that I said from the beginning. We want to be versatile. We want to be able to put different personnel groups out there and to use all the talent that we have. So, I think that'll just kind of be part of how we game plan and trying to find the best matchups that we can. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Andy.
Jameer, how was it going up against Miami secondary today?
It was good. I think, once you get past that first week of training camp, seeing your teammates for as long as we have, it's always good to go up against a new team.
What do you like about these joint practices?
I think it kind of takes you out of the routine of training camp. It allows you to see where we're at outside of a game setting, and it really kind of pushes yourself to play harder throughout the practice and to kind of learn where you're at, to gauge where you're at.
Where do you guys think you are based on today? Was it a wake-up call at all in any way?
I think we're trending in the right direction. I think obviously every play isn't going to be exactly how you script it up, and I think we knew coming in that we were going to have those type of plays, but I think today we were able to make the plays that were out there for us, and when we watch the film, we'll be able to make a lot of corrections and move forward.
I know how good your defense is against you guys, but isn't it a lot different when you're going up against a different team than your own that you've been going up against every day?
Yeah, for sure. I think when you're going up against your own defense, there's guys who have been here for the entire time that Coach Nagy and this offense has been run, so they've seen it a lot. They see it every day. So we're able to go up against a new team who doesn't know what's going on, who doesn't know our personnel that well. It makes it a lot of fun.
What do you have examples of times where you've kind of noticed Andy's kind of veteran savvy and the difference it brings to the offense?
Yeah, I think Andy has come in. He's been in this offense before, so he knows what's going on, and I think that's obviously a big plus. When you have somebody who has already been in this offense, the ball is coming out on time. The ball is even coming out sometimes before we even think it's coming out, and that's the kind of thing that you love to see, as a receiver.
What have been your impressions about David Montgomery since you've been here, and just how much easier does your life get if the offense you play for can run the ball consistently?
Yeah, I mean, I think Dave is a every down back. I think he's shown that in previous years already, and I think he's continuing to make that statement and continuing to trend forward. So I'm excited to have him in the backfield toting the rock, and obviously when an offense can run the ball and the defense has to put 8 in the box and make those type of adjustments, it makes our lives easier on the outside.
Obviously, Allen and Darnell had really productive seasons for this team last year, but the Bears obviously are clearly trying to define roles beyond that. Do you feel the competition at your position group? Like, do you notice that throughout camp, and does it feel palpable?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we've had a lot of guys make plays. Whether it's Marquise, myself, guys like Rodney Adams, Rilo, Juice, all those guys. I mean, they've been making plays day in and day out. So, you want to have that type of competition within the room to make it hard for the guys upstairs to choose who's going to be around. We know what type of league this is, and it's always going to be a competition, and that's why we're here.
When you're in the middle of the competition like that, how do you approach it?
I mean, honestly, it's just every day. I think, competition is kind of what football is. It's always been that way, whether you were, in high school, getting recruited in college, and then, trying to make a team in the league. It's kind of what comes with it, the territory, and, just kind of focus on the things that you can control. There's a lot of things that happen outside of what I do every play, and that's all you really can do.
Jameer, what was it like catching punts in that wind today?
Definitely different. Definitely windy city, I tell you that. So that's why we have practice. That's why we have days like this. Hopefully we can get more days like this so we all can get comfortable doing it and move forward.
Generally, how long does it take to get comfortable doing that? I mean, how many days would you need?
I mean, every day is different. Every day the wind is different. But once you get the days to see the ball flight, to see the ball travel, then it usually adjusts pretty quick.
Was the anticipation with Kyler Murray a couple of years ago any way comparable to the anticipation people feel about Fields at this point this year?
Yeah, I mean, I think when you get a top quarterback, a first-round draft pick, I mean, those type of anticipation for that is definitely bigger. I think our situation here is unique. We have guys in that room who are veterans who have had success in this league to help him learn and kind of grasp what this game is. I think, in Arizona we had Kyler, and we knew that it was his show from the jump. So it's a different environment, different set of circumstances, but, obviously we know that Fields is going to be good, and, he's a hell of a talent, and he's going to continue to progress.
How would you describe his specific skills? Like, what have you seen from him?
He has a great arm, his accuracy, his leadership, and obviously he's very athletic. He can scramble out of the pocket, make plays with his feet. So as he progresses in his offense and learns what to do and learns what everyone else is doing, and he's going to continue to be great.
You're already seeing leadership.
For sure, definitely.
Appreciate it, guys.
Thank you.
Everybody get